everybody. Welcome to Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang. Here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and elite game publisher, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
I'll tell you what's up, good buddy. I'll tell you what's up. The Niners are going to the Super Bowl. That's what's up, brother. NFC champions.
Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. I am so hyped for the Super Bowl, man. Oh, what a game that was to get us there. But we've had a few close calls like that. But you know what? We always come out on top. I'm excited.
There you go. That's awesome. I was telling you before the show, I'm like, I don't have never had much skin in the game. You know, I haven't watched or even followed football for a long time. But I'm like, you know what? That was kind of my most recent quote unquote hometown when I lived in Modesto. I was like, that was the closest thing. So I'll root for them. And I didn't watch a lot of the game. It was on a TV on the other side of the lawn. We were out on the lawn at a birthday party. And like I saw glimpses of it. And it was just like a roller coaster, it seemed like. It was just the reactions of everyone who's watching it. I'm just like, I don't know.
That first half. Ugh. I know what you're saying. Why are they talking about sports in my video game podcast? I understand, but also go outside.
Go outside
just for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. Yes, that's awesome. So it's 49ers and
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs. Okay. Taylor Swift's team.
Whatever.
I'm kidding.
It's not my team. It's not my team. It's not. You can call it whatever you want. She ain't dating anybody on our team.
I've only just seen the memes online. I don't know them from anyone else, but I've just seen the jokes online.
Well, people are saying like the NFL script, right? Because they're saying that every game is like scripted now because you could bet on it. They're saying the script is if the Chiefs win, they're gonna Travis Kelce is gonna propose to Taylor Swift like on the Super Bowl stage.
So it's basically becoming WWE at this point where there's a story.
Yes,
okay.
That's what people are theorizing.
I mean,
granted, look.
If it makes the games exciting and dramatic, who cares? That sounds good to me.
Ever since you've been able to bet on sports, of course, there have been fixes here and there. Like, there's money exchanging hands where there shouldn't be, of course, as with any kind of activity like that. But that's a reach. That's a heck of a script. I mean, it ain't gonna happen, but just imagine if somebody called that,
craziness. All right, well, we'll stop.
I guess we should talk about
all the folks out there who are just losing their minds, commenting right now on YouTube. They don't start talking about video games until they blah blah blah. We've gotten those before. It makes me laugh. There's like a comment one time like they don't start talking about video games until 12 minutes in. I'm like, who cares? Like I'm
sorry,
fun.
there are other things besides video games that are cool. Is that okay?
I'm sorry that we're having fun, okay? Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we are, interested in more than just digital video games. Sometimes we enjoy real life games,
Hey, Godzilla was really good too. We could talk about that if you want.
Oh, dude, I got to see Godzilla -1 -color on Friday.
I didn't get to see -color, but just in general, amazing movie. Amazing.
It was so beautiful in black and white. It made me too. Like now, I was like, now I want to see it in color. Like it looked sick in black and white, but I'm like, I kind of want to see it in color too.
Oh, so it was so good.
I'm excited for it to come out just on streaming services. I can't justify going to watch it again in theaters in color. But once it's on streaming services, I'll rewatch in color.
I gotta pre-order that one. No, that's a keeper.
Such a fun flick. I love how, especially in black and white, it very much I'm like, because the whole point of it anyways, like reading like interviews and stuff, the whole point of the movie was to almost like a quote unquote, like they even called it that, like a quote unquote kind of reboot of the original, more of an homage to the original because it's the 70th year anniversary, which is wild. And
they even had the original theme when he was walking around.
Yeah, and
with that big brass section, dun 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 dun. So good, good.
But so watching it in black and white, I'm like, this 100% like looks and feels like it could be like the original. This with like much higher fidelity cameras and special effects, but like even the way he moved sometimes, I'm just like, Because like recently with like Godzilla versus Kong and some of these other ones, all of a sudden he's out there.
They have him like sprinting and
he's
like doing barrel rolls. Come on, man.
He's doing
you know how many
crazy
tons Godzilla's supposed to weigh? He's not doing that.
Yeah, and so I loved out this one. Like, there's a few times where he just catches arms like straight up doing these are at his side. He's like, gun. Taking out
when the
buildings.
spines start to lock in for the blast breath, dude.
That's pretty sick.
Oh, and it looks like a nuke when it goes off. Oh my God, it's so good.
That's one of the things in black and white. I was like, it didn't really do it justice, because I know in color it's like the blue light emanating from it. We're in black and white, but the nuke looked sick in black and white. Like seeing the big mushroom cloud, I'm like, in the sound design too, like it just goes, everything goes totally silent, and it's
dude, you feel like goosebumps when you see it happening because you know what's getting ready to come, and you just hear him sinking, shunk, 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 shunk. Oh my God. Okay,
so
let's talk
Godzilla.
about Go watch Godzilla. Watch some sports.
I think it's only in theaters. I think it's only in theaters for a couple more days, because that was the whole thing with the black and white one. It was only in theaters for a week, and I think it started last Thursday and it ends this Thursday, which is also just so happens to be the last day that the color one is in. So if you listen to this on Wednesday, you still technically have 2 days to, Wednesday and Thursday.
Get a move on.
So go see it.
Get a move on.
All right. Anyways, and the fact that the whole thing was in Japanese, I didn't realize that. For some reason, I thought it was English, or dubbed, or dubbed or something. But then when I was looking at the black and white one, I'm like, oh, this is Japanese with subtitles. And then I was like, maybe it was the color one was dubbed. And then I looked that up. I'm like, no, the Japanese that was.
It's only ever been that cut.
Which fantastic.
Awesome.
Such
congratulations to that team too. They were nominated for an Oscar.
They deserve it. All right, for real this time, let's get this show on the roll.
Okay.
Today, we're talking about Xbox's massive layoffs, Rocksteady's rocky start, and a Switch 2 with no OLED. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash, Kajoma01, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and Carrie. And if you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us over there starting at just $1 a month. That's right, $1. You get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show. You get our Patreon exclusive Super Later Boys, which a new episode went up a couple weeks ago, I guess, at this point. We already have the one recorded for next month.
Got one in the tuck, baby.
Look forward to that one, too. And then, and also you just help support our awesome show and the rest of our content, not just this show. We have other shows that we're hoping to keep, like Super Later Boys, and others that we're hoping to continue doing or bring back in some way. So if you want to help bring those things to fruition, make cool stuff with them, then support us, please. We appreciate it. And we'll talk more about that later on in the show during our Patreon ad. Right now, I do want to give a huge shout out to Jack Sriracha, Yate, and also DJ Trooz. Sorry, I was just checking the volume because I was like, shoot, did I forget to turn it down? I've done that before where it's just like blasting and no one can hear us talking because it's just music. So I did remember to turn it down, but it is DJ Trooz in the background this week. So go check him out. Links will be in the show description to Apple Music and Spotify. Go listen to his music. Fantastic. This new Digimon, the Digijams. So good. So awesome. Fantastic. Love it.
Trooz and Chill is still my favorite.
Trooz and Chill is my favorite as well. It's perfect for like studying, working, whatever you got to do. So good. All right. It's now time to check the mail, I guess. Yeah, it's about that time.
Fire it up.
Let's go ahead and boot up Super Gamer Bot. One moment. Let me see if I can find this. You know what? It's strange. You would think it being an AI machine, the power button would stay in one spot. Wildly enough, the machine is AI generated each and every week. So even where the power button is changes. I got to find it. So I got to find it. It's like, all right, last week it was a switch on the front. Now it's like a little pressure switch on the side. So
investing in those nanites was a blessing and a curse.
Right. Exactly. It's makes for incredible armor, you know, but horrible PC cases. Who would have thought? All right, let's boot up Super Gamer Bot here.
Sup, jabronis, it's about time for a new set of questions. You ready?
We're ready. We're ready.
Did they just call us jabronis?
They call us jabronis. It's, you know, at this point, it's not even a surprise anymore. They call us like what, geeks last week, nerds the week before.
I can't stand gamer bots sometimes.
We get it. You get it. You think you're cool. You're just gonna make us, make fun of us. It's fine. We deserve it, honestly. What we've put them through. All right. Give us that first question, I believe, from Sir Prince-A-Lot.
Sir Prince-A-Lot asks, TMNT, Shredder's Revenge is awesome. What's the classic IP that needs the same side-scroller revival treatment? I vote the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Ooh, okay. So Shredder's Revenge was fantastic. That's when we played all together. It was you, me, a couple of the crew from
Super NPC.
Super NPC, yeah. That was a ton of fun. That was so much fun to do that. Play through the whole game together over a couple days.
It was my favorite, one of my favorite gaming memories.
Yeah.
Was us playing that.
Such a blast. So fantastic game. So yes, Sir Prince-A-Lot, you are dead on with that. But a classic IP that needs the same type of current side scroller. So basically just what's an old side scroller or classic IP that needs a new update. Because Shredder's Revenge, there's already side scroller games, but this is just like a modernized side scroller, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, with like sensibilities and tweaks from today's, standards.
Well, I thought that's what he meant, right? Like what classic side scroller or what IP would you want to have the Shredder's Revenge treatment, right?
So do you think he's asking about any IP or just an IP?
I mean, I guess it could be any IP, but I'll go first. I can tell you mine. I said it as soon as Shredder's Revenge came out. I said, if they did this, it's such a good homage to the original Konami game. I'd love to see this team take a stab at X-Men. Because Konami also did a side-scrolling X-Men beat 'em up, which is awesome as well. So I'd love to see them be able to take on and revitalize and kind of, do a new version of an X-Men beat 'em up.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
It doesn't need to be a side scroller. You said it could just be an IP that you think would work as a Shredder's Revenge type.
Okay. All right. Well, it just says current side scroller. So it doesn't even say like a beat 'em up either. Because what I would love, hang on, let me hold on a second.
Oh boy, what are you getting ready to?
Okay, yeah. I'm just looking up something. I'm curious when the last game in this series was made, because it's been a little bit. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think it's been a while. All right.
Who made it?
You're gonna hate me. You're gonna be like, nah, get out of here. No one actually liked that game, but I love this game, and I would love a modern version of it.
If you say Gex, I'm gone.
That is a very good choice, but no, not Gex. I'm looking at Cool Spot.
Cool Spot.
Heck
the 7-Up game?
Heck yes. I had it on, wasn't also on, I think there's one on PS1, wasn't there? Or was it Super Nintendo?
I think it was Super Nintendo.
It might have been Super Nintendo.
No, it might have been Genesis.
I think we have the Super Nintendo version. There was one on Super Nintendo. Yes, I want a new Cool Spot game. I need 7-Up to make a new Cool Spot game.
But you want Cool Spot to be a beat 'em up?
Well, it doesn't have to be a beat 'em up. That's the thing. If his question is, it just says a modern current side scroller.
Oh, okay.
The game's already basically a side scroller type game. So give me a modern side scroller, modern with all like the graphics and the standard like control schemes and like updated like everything. So it feels good.
For posterity's sake, Cool Spot was also on Genesis.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I think it was.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't want to get actually. I'm
pretty sure we had it on Super Nintendo too. For some reason, I had a memory of it being on PlayStation, but
maybe there was a sequel.
No, there's Spot the Cool Adventure on Game Boy. There was Spot the video game, which was
I didn't even know they made more than one. I thought it was only ever that one Cool Spot game.
So Spot the video game is the first one, and that was on Amiga, Atari, DOS, Game Boy, NES, Commodore 64 from 1990. Jeez. And then Oh, is this the one I played? No. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's actually 4 of them. Yeah, that's wild. So yeah, Spot.
I don't understand. It's a dot with shades. What's so appealing about it?
Cool. Spot the Cool Adventure is the second one that came out on Game Boy. And then there's Cool Spot, which is 1993. And then Spot Goes to Hollywood came out in 95. Maybe this is the one I had. Spot Goes to Hollywood because it came out in PlayStation. 1996.
It's very possible.
This is the one I had. Now that I'm looking at the box art, there was no good picture of the box art. They just have the European version, but the American version, this is it. So yeah, I want Spot Goes to Hollywood updated in today's standards.
Hey, it's your pick.
That's the one.
Do your
That's
thing.
What I want.
I can't be mad at you.
Because
I can question you.
Spot, what was fun is that Spot Goes to Hollywood. So it's very much like, did you ever play? I think it was called Rugrats Go to Hollywood or Go to the Movies or something like that. It's also a PlayStation 1 game.
Yes,
it's basically like that.
I rented that one a few times.
Every world was basically like a new kind of theme because there's just a bunch of films and stuff like that. So that's what Cool Spot Goes to Hollywood was as well. Bring back Cool Spot. He was cool. He's the best.
Nah, he could stay where he was. He peaked in the 90s.
Did he though?
He did.
We don't know.
No, there's no did he though. No, he did.
I mean,
that'd be like bringing back Pepsi, man.
Well, I mean, you're onto something there.
I should have just kept my trap shut.
Anyone should have a comeback. It's Pepsi, man.
No.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you so much to Prince Lab for writing that question. We need more questions, so feel free to write them over at if you join our Discord at supergamerboys.com/Discord. It should take you to a link. Allow us to join our free Discord over there. Come join us. Hang out with us during the week. We appreciate it. You can leave your questions there. Chat with us about what video games you're watching, or video games you're playing. Either or. I guess some people watch streams.
This is true.
Or you can also be a part of our backlog challenge too, where we're trying to see who can finish the most games that they haven't finished before. So new completions on old games. You can rack it up and you win something at the end of the year. Unlike Adrian.
Did my dad hat come? Did you order my dad hat?
I have not.
Look at you.
But it was because you had also asked if there was different styles. And at this point, I only have the dad hat version on the store. But when I looked in the creation, the creative product or whatever on that website, there's different hats. There are different style hats. So I was like, is there
a snap? I don't remember if you said there was not.
I think there is. And so I was thinking before I order the dad hat, maybe I order you a sample of one of the other styles, and then you can give us a report back.
Bingo. Now you're thinking. Using your noggin, I appreciate that.
So instead of sending you one that you don't think is going to fit your noggin, let's figure something out.
Give me a prototype. Give me an exclusive. Give me a 101.
Well, exclusive until we find out it's good quality, and then we'll put it on the store forever.
But I'll have the sample.
You'll
no
have
one else will.
The OG.
The prototype.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's all for that. That's not how we normally end that, but I forgot what I was doing. So I think it's now time to get to the nerdy dudes.
Thank you. Man, we switched up the formula one time to talk about football and everything just falls apart. Good
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's now time.
I don't remember how to breathe.
What are you doing? I'm in the middle of the Go. Just go.
No. You go ahead.
You've thrown it off. No, yeah, I can't. Fine. I've lost my mojo.
All right. I'll be quiet now.
It's now time.
This first news story comes to us from The Verge.
I knew you were going to do it. That's why I did it all the way through. You can't fool me.
I try, but you're right. You're too smart for that.
I know you're trying to look for that sound too. I see your eyes shifting.
I honestly wasn't. Now that you've reminded me, I'm looking. This first news story comes to us from The Verge, written by Tom Warren. Microsoft lays off 1,900 Activision Blizzard and Xbox employees. Microsoft is laying off 1,900 employees at Activision, Blizzard, and Xbox this week. While Microsoft is primarily laying off roles at Activision Blizzard, some Xbox and ZeniMax employees will also be impacted by the cuts. The cuts work out to roughly 8% of the overall Microsoft gaming division that stands at around 22,000 employees in total. The Verge has obtained an internal memo from Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer that confirms the layoffs. It's been a little over 3 months since the Activision, Blizzard, and King teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned on the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team. The gaming leadership team and I are committed to navigating this process as thoughtfully as possible. The people who are directly impacted by these reductions have all played an important part in the success of Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and the Xbox teams, and they should be proud of everything they've accomplished here. We are grateful for all the creativity, passion, and dedication they have brought to our games, our players, and our colleagues. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified, and we ask that you please treat your departing colleagues with the respect and compassion that is consistent with our values. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. Although this is a difficult moment for our team, I'm as confident as ever in your ability to create and nurture the games, stories, and worlds that bring players together. Phil. Alongside the layoffs, Blizzard President Mike Ibarra has decided to leave the company. As many of you know, Mike previously spent more than 20 years at Microsoft, and now that he has seen the acquisition through at Blizzard as Blizzard president, he has decided to leave the company, says Microsoft Games Content and Studios President Matt Booty in an internal memo. Microsoft plans to name a new Blizzard president next week. Alan Adam, Blizzard's chief design officer, is also leaving the company. As one of Blizzard's co-founders, Alan has had a broad impact on all of Blizzard's games. His influence will be felt for years to come, both directly and indirectly, as Alan plans to continue mentoring young designers across the industry. There's a lot going on over there. Apparently, Blizzard's previously announced survival game has also been canceled as part of these changes. So there's a new IP that was in the works, or at least a new survival game.
Yep.
Canned. What a wild January we've had between Riot Games, Google, Discord, Twitch, Unity, eBay, and others laying off. That's just a number here, or a sentence here from this article. I knew there had been a few, but I didn't realize that many. Riot Games, Google, Discord, Twitch, Unity, eBay. Lots of online/gaming adjacent companies, gaming and gaming adjacent.
I'm sure we haven't seen the end.
How crazy. Like in January, there's been so many, like I feel like I saw a number and we've almost caught up to how many, like the total of layoffs in 2023, we're like catching up already in the first month
just
here.
January.
Yeah, absolutely wild. Yeah, how, like, this is one of those things where it makes sense with an acquisition. Like it doesn't make sense. It is typical with an acquisition, I should say, because I experienced this when I worked for a company a couple of years ago that was bought out, and then they had me train my successor without me knowing. Actually, I was kind of already in the process of training my successor, but they had me finish, and then they fired me because there's a duplicate position. So it's like one of those things, like, okay, it happens often because they don't need to pay two people to do the same job, but I don't know, it just seems wild. Like, is there really that much overlap between separate divisions too? Like, to me, that seems like a big number, especially when it's like they're all dealing with different IPs. Like, yeah, they're all under the Xbox umbrella, but
you hit the nail on the head. In any other company, right? This would make sense. However, now that we're dealing in a creative field, which means that these people are multi-disciplined, so you could really shuffle them back and forth between different projects. Let's start at the top. Microsoft is a multi-trillion-dollar company. They didn't have to cut anybody from anything if they didn't need to, right?
Yeah.
Or if they didn't want to. Secondly, Like I said, this is a creative endeavor. Microsoft owns dozens of studios at this point. Dozens. And all of the layoffs only came from Blizzard at this point. You're telling me they couldn't figure out a way across all the dozens of studios that, mind you, at this point, outside of Indiana Jones, we don't know really what anybody is working on because it's taken them all so long. So you're telling me none of these other studios could use a boost in manpower to maybe get these games out the door a little quicker? Honestly, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, it's like there had to, you'd think there'd been something these people could have been doing, you know, like
there absolutely was.
With so much more, again, IPs and projects on their plate, like they're going to need the manpower, right? And even if the person wasn't needed, like maybe they were working as a sound designer and they weren't needed there, like, all right, well, maybe they're hurting in another area and that's sound design adjacent or something. Like, I don't know. It just seems like they've already had issues. They've had problems putting games out. Xbox has had problems because like both with quality and just taking a long time because it's hard to tell. Is it because their games are too big or because their staff is too small? Maybe a little of both. Obviously
also no oversight, no real oversight from Phil.
And so it just seems like wild to be like, hey, like there was a whole year 2022 where we didn't put out a single game because it was all hands on deck and we still weren't able to like figure things
get
out, anything out. Like, you know, things got delayed out of 22 to 22, but then here they are acquiring a bunch of new people and new employees who should be able to get things done on time and in a timely manner, and then they're like, nah, get rid of them. It's like, wait, what?
Hey, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously I've never owned a gaming company, a developer, or ran one, anything like that. But
you've also never had trillions of dollars of capital either.
That's
that
true.
Could easily support all these people. So, like I said, if it was maybe like a, I don't know, like an indie studio or maybe like a AA studio or a publisher or something like that, like I can maybe, you know, find somewhere to make an exception for it. But no, dude, I think at this point they are the biggest game publisher.
They would have to be. I would be shocked if they weren't.
Right. Yeah, there's too many things that they could have had these people doing. And that tells me something foul happened at Blizzard too. Because why would
two big people left
that were supposed to be there for the foreseeable future to help with that transition? Now they just dipped? What happened? What?
Sorry.
Did you get yourself with your own noise?
No.
Did it backfire on you?
Someone just subbed to our channel and it made this wild sound in my headphones and it scared me to death. It sounded like a... Thank you, Lindsay, for the sub. I appreciate it. I forgot I had alerts set up on the podcast. I thought I had them turned off during the podcast.
Are you gonna be okay?
I just had a freaking heart attack. I can't.
I was gonna say you need to take a couple real quick.
I can't wait to watch this back and see my face. Like my heart, left my body. It was a straight up like I was like, I'm dying. This is it. This is the end. The Lord's taking me home. All right, we're good. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. Which, by the way, if you have we'll talk about it later in the ad. All right. What I want to say about this news story though is it's so wild to me too, like how and I understand there's protocol and how they handle these things. I'm sure, I would hope, but obviously first the memo goes out and apparently the people who are getting fired didn't know yet if they were getting fired, which is, I mean, it's evident.
That's usually how it goes.
That's usually how it goes. But I retweeted this on when 25th when this all happened. Jason Schreier had tweeted, "These Xbox layoffs are such a mess that staff across Activision Blizzard are texting me to try to find out if they might be impacted. Nearly 2,000 job cuts, and people now just have to wait around to see if they're part of the bloodbath." Like literally,
could you imagine?
Jason Schreier is a journalist. Like he has nothing to do with Xbox or Microsoft at all, and like not connected at all other than just being a journalist. And they're texting him and be like, "Is it my division? Am I getting cut?" I'm like, I couldn't imagine that. Like to be there at Activision Blizzard or at Xbox or wherever, just sitting there, just waiting, just kind of twiddling my thumbs, be like,
and how do you
I
expect them to get work done?
Yeah, exactly. They're just like sweating all day. Like can't focus on work.
I'm not doing no work. What? This also reminds me, real quick, just in a quick aside, but it's related. When Riot let go of all those other people, Riot Games, and everybody was talking about, the severance package they got was so generous. They got 6 months of salary, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I lost my job. I would rather have my job than that cushy severance package that they gave me. I don't care how good the package is. It still means I got fired, which means that this is going to run out at some point. I would rather not take any of this and have the continuous stream of income that I had before. And that is crazy that people were like,
your job title, like it could take a long time to find a new job. I mean,
right.
It could take 6 months to find a new job, right?
And then what? Now I'm out of money.
Yeah, I've burned through that severance package and all my savings, and like now what? You know. Oh, thanks, Hophead Ed. He clipped that out. That's great. I'll have to watch that later. my reaction to almost dying.
But yeah, I don't know what the motivation is behind Microsoft doing this. I feel like that was a really boneheaded move. But then again, we aren't executives and we aren't beholden to shareholders like, you know, most capitalistic system businesses are, you know. But
yeah.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. I'm really upset about it, and I really hope that everybody who was affected is able to bounce back from this. I know it's going to be tough because a lot of people are getting laid off in this industry and across tech across the board. So
yeah, I mean,
best of luck.
Even IO Interactive, I think they had cuts last week.
Yeah, and
I just saw today. Oh, who was it today? They canceled a game. They canceled Deus Ex, a new Deus Ex game, and they I think they're shutting down, or they like
IO. They're shutting IO down.
No. Who makes Deus Ex?
IO.
No.
Oh no, they make Hitman.
Montreal. Who is it?
Square. Eidos
Montreal. I think either they're. I can't remember if it. I need to look it up before I get it wrong. But it's either they had major cuts or they're shutting down. But yeah, I saw that today. Like there's big.
They're shutting down Eidos. You know how old Eidos is?
Don't quote me on it. Hang on. Don't quote me on it. We're gonna start getting.
Eidos is like. Wow.
Embracer Group reportedly cancels Deus Ex video game as layoffs. Okay, so just layoffs. So major layoffs at Eidos Montreal, and they canceled the game. So they're like, nope, we're not doing Deus Ex. Major layoffs.
Embracer was the one, refresh my memory, that bet everything on a $2.5 billion deal with the Saudis, right?
I believe so. Yeah. And then basically they've just, all these game studios they own, they're just like, delete.
And they're still going with this. They haven't learned anything. They're still shutting stuff down.
Embracer Group has been aggressive. This is an article, by the way, by George Yang over at IGN. I just randomly Googled, and it's very helpful to get my facts straight on this. Embracer Group has been aggressively shutting down its studios ever since its rumored $2 billion deal with the Saudi-backed Savvy Game Group reportedly fell apart. So the deal fell apart. Yeah. So they're trying to get a $2 billion deal. That's what. Okay. And then they.
No, but honestly,
so
like,
no.
Down. Screw them for playing with people's livelihoods over something you didn't even have concrete. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because you knew you were gonna be okay. You thought it was okay to play with people's livelihoods. It's coming back to get you in one way or the other. There won't be an Embracer Group, maybe. I don't know, but something's coming back to get them for that. You don't just get to do something like that and walk away scot-free.
Yeah. I don't know.
But circling back, man, I really feel
I just hope.
I was gonna say I just really feel for the Microsoft and Blizzard employees who got hit by this. That absolutely sucks. And I think Microsoft is making a real big blunder here. I really think they could use these bodies to be put in places where they can excel. So
yeah. And I really hope these people can get back on their feet and find some jobs. But at the same, like we were just saying though, like so many companies are doing layoffs. That's the thing. Like the game studio, like community is so tight knit. Like when these layoffs happen in the past, immediately like a hashtag comes out like, oh, if you're looking for work, just check out this hashtag. Here's all the companies who are, but it's like when everyone's doing layoffs, it's like, well, where do you go at that point? Like you start your own indie studio, basically. Like that's what you gotta do. Or you
start your own studio, or if your skills are transferable, you go to another field. You know, you go to engineering, you go to design, you go. Yeah, you got to get out of games.
Yeah,
which sucks because a lot of people's dream is to make games, but here we are.
Here we are. I hate that everyone's making fun of me in the chat now because what posted that clip of me getting spooked.
Oh, yeah, don't feel too good, huh?
Garrett's usually spooked, so it checks out. All right. That's enough of that. No, it's okay. All right. I think that's it for that news story. Now let's check out this next. Just fantastic. Video games are just doing so good right now, you know?
Video games are cool, and sometimes video games suck. And not because they're bad. Because the whole sucks.
Yeah. This next story, I said that weird.
Next story.
This next news story comes from Polygon, written by Michael McWhorter. Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game launches and is quickly taken down. Shocker.
Oh boy, Rocksteady, be glad I didn't buy that game, dude. Be glad.
Rocksteady Studios' first big game in nearly a decade is off to a rough start. Players who had early access to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League started the game on Monday and were presented with a big surprise. Upon logging in for the first time, they had full story completion. That massive bug, which would conceivably unlock certain game features and open the floodgate of story spoilers, forced Rocksteady to quickly take the game offline to perform maintenance. On Rocksteady's X account for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the developer said it's aware that a number of players are currently experiencing that issue. As it works on the bug, the game will be unavailable. We expect this to take several hours and we'll update once we have information, the developer said. We apologize for the inconvenience. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an always online game, meaning that even the single player portion of the game is now unplayable. That's great. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice, their names.
They're on a roll.
Suicide Squad.
Just call it Suicide Squad.
On February 2nd, so it doesn't come out till, what was that, Thursday, Friday? Something like that. But customers who pre-ordered the game, Deluxe Edition on PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S, get up to 72 hours. This isn't my editor's note. We're supposed to get up to 72 hours of early access to the game. That early access period now appears to have caused Rocksteady extra grief, as the word also spreads that publisher Warner Brothers Games did not provide pre-release codes to media outlets. Publications like IGN ran stories over the weekend, noting that the publisher has opted not to send out review codes until the game servers go live, or not at all in the case of IGN, which ran a negative-leaning preview of the game ahead of launch. So basically, IGN said it at the preview, and their preview wasn't even that bad. It was negative-leaning, but they're like, oh, but we're excited for the game to come out. It could be better than the preview was.
Right.
And Warner Brothers is just like, screw you, we're not sending a code. So, which is...
Say less.
IGN's like, all right, we'll just buy it and then still review it. And all right.
Yeah, what did you gain from this?
It's not like you can stop us from playing the game by, oh, no, you didn't send us a code. We'll just go buy it.
We'll have to play it a few days later. Oh, no.
And it's gotten infinitely worse press over the weekend now. They shot themselves in the foot by not sending the code. They think they're punishing IGN, but really they just made themselves look bad, you know. Polygon also did not receive code ahead of Suicide Squad's launch. Oh, so Polygon also is part of that too. Interesting. Rocksteady's journey to bring Suicide Squad to life has been a challenging one, beset by delays, major story leaks, blowback over the game's live service, multiplayer focus, and the unwelcome revival of certain characters from the Batman Arkham games. Yeah. What a wild ride. I can't wait. This is similar to the Xbox acquiring Activision Blizzard stories, how I was so sick and tired of doing it, to the point where we actually did an episode where we said we will not talk about this anymore. I feel like
putting your foot down.
This will probably be the last one, only because the game comes out Friday, and after that I don't really care. But what a wild ride this has been.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of talking about this, so I'm glad to say, even if it's not the last news story, we're done with this. This is it. Just so you let you know, we're not
built on the bones of a game nobody wanted.
Yeah. Man. Lindsay in the chat mentions they didn't get one either, which
Really?
That's wild. So it seems like, yeah. So I wonder how targeted it really is then. Like, are there any? But
you know what? You know what? Actually,
that got them?
That's worse. You know why? If IGN didn't get one and other places got one, it'd be like, oh, okay, they're really just doing it to kind of, stick it to IGN.
Right.
But if nobody has a code,
IGN, Polygon, Screen Rant, like
that's telling me something before the game even comes out. What are you trying to hide behind?
Yeah. So why
don't you want anybody to see this game ahead of time?
Yeah, that's almost worse. Because at first it was like, oh, they're just being petty towards IGN. But if the fact that like no one's getting it, then it's like, oh, this game is in trouble maybe. Like,
right.
It's less of a petty thing and more of a, we have a lot to hide, which, yikes. Yeah, Lindsay says, I don't know of anyone who got one. So, okay, that almost makes it worse. Like, it almost like, as crappy as it is to be like a weird petty thing against IGN and Polygon, a couple other places, like, it's childish, but whatever. Like, but if no one got it, it's like, oh no, this might be a train wreck. Which, I mean, it already is. Like, that's what this whole news story is about.
Bingo.
Is basically, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Can you imagine having a studio like Rocksteady and just wasting their talents on a project like this? You know how long people have been asking for what, I always say it all the time. This was originally rumored to be a Superman game, and the executive said, no, we're going to turn it into Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad is hot right now, and we want you to turn this game into that. And Rocksteady's like, bro, we already modeled out Metropolis. What are you talking about? It's already done. We have the Justice League models ready to go. And the WB execs are just like, whatever. It's not going to be marketable. Superman is not going to be marketable?
People don't want a Superman game forever.
Not even the fact that people wanted a Superman game. Superman, the character, is not. Do you know how many bad movies we just got and people kept going to see them?
People still love Superman.
People love Superman. He is not an American. He's an Earth icon.
JJ would have like peed his pants like if there's a Superman game.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Suicide Squad is a bad idea. I think it would have been cool for them to have their own little like side project or maybe like a smaller AA game.
That should have been something that like because kind of like who made Batman Origins, like whoever made that, like that's like a Suicide Squad company.
Right.
They should have made that where it's like Warner Brothers Montreal or who was it? Warner Brothers.
I couldn't tell you. There's only 2 games to me, so
there's only 2 games. Hophead Ed has a couple comments here that are great. That name is almost as obnoxious as Dragon Quest 11S Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition for the Nintendo Switch.
I don't know what he's talking about. It sounds fine to me.
Talking about, and then he also says Superman 64 remake when?
This would have been it. This would have been it right here.
Should have been it. Yeah, totally.
God.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. And apparently, I thought I saw in the news too recently that didn't like some people from old Rocksteady just start their own studio as well. Like they just
might as well. If WB's just gonna push you around and tell you what to do all the time, I'd have bounced out too.
Yeah, it's like if it's like you're making this game that you don't believe in, which I mean maybe they do. I guess I haven't talked to developers, but I shouldn't put my words in their mouth, but I don't know. Even if you did believe in it, with all this backlash, I'd be like, I'm out of here. Sorry, I'm gonna go work anywhere.
I can't go through this.
This is one of those cases where forget layoffs. I'm quitting. Like I'm out of here. I can't.
You don't gotta worry about me. I don't need the severance. I'm out.
Oh man,
I'm out.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear like what the people like. Obviously, there's got to be some part of them that does care about the project, or else they wouldn't be working on it. Like, and anything you put your own blood, sweat, and blood, sweat, and tears into, like you
put your own tweezers into.
Your own tweezers into. You really care about. But yeah, I'd be curious because we heard stories about like Redfall last year, where those devs weren't into it. They were like,
right. They legitimately did not want to make that game.
That we don't want to make this game. We make single player games. with great stories, and when they were told not to, no, sorry, you got to make Redfall like this, they were just like, oh, all right, and the game came out crappy because of it. So
yeah, I think this is another one of those. I think it's a one-to-one copy.
Yeah, that's my only point of reference is like, well, that's what happened there, and a bad game came out, and then a bad game's coming out, so A plus B equals C. I'm guessing a lot of people there were not feeling this.
See, but here's the thing, right? Is people are predicting that this game is gonna land in maybe like a solid 7. But that's only because of the caliber of studio that Rocksteady is, that their bad games are just C's.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like, yeah. I think at the very least, because I have seen a lot of people like, oh, the combat's fun. So even just like from a gameplay point of view, it's like, all right, it could still be a fun game. But
I'm absolutely going to watch the story 100% when it comes out, because, people are going to put those cutscenes together. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Make a super cut to sit and watch all the cutscenes.
Yep.
Lindsay in the chat does say, heck, they could make a Superman Picross and it would sell 100%.
Absolutely.
Superman anything. Like, I don't know what they're
You can make
about
Superman anything, and there is an audience for it because it's Superman.
Yep.
What a bonehead move, dude. Oh, WB execs. This is not about Rocksteady. I just want to make sure before it gets taken out of context, we have to do our disclaimers. This is about Warner Brothers Interactive and their upper staff. Yeah. It is not the dev team. I'm sure Rocksteady did what they could to try to salvage the situation, but it doesn't look like it panned out, unfortunately. So,
yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on here to the last news story. This last news story comes to us from IGN. Nintendo Switch 2 reportedly has an 8-inch LCD screen. Written by Wesley Yinpool over there. The Nintendo Switch has an 8-inch LCD screen, according to a fresh report. Bloomberg cites Omdia analyst Hiroshi Hayase, who specializes in the display market, in its report that the unannounced Switch successor console has an 8-inch LCD screen and launches later in 2024. For context, the standard Switch has a 6.2-inch screen on the diagonal, and the OLED has a 7-inch screen. So you get an inch upgrade from the OLED, but it is LCD. Last year, VDC said Nintendo was set to release its next-gen console during the second half of 2024, with development kits in the hands of partner studios. According to the website, which has a strong track record of reporting unannounced information, the next-generation console can be used in portable mode, like the Nintendo Switch, and has an LCD screen as opposed to an OLED screen in order to keep costs down. It also reportedly comes with a cartridge slot for physical games. Reports that Nintendo has gone with an LCD screen for the Switch 2 have disappointed some fans who hope for an OLED, given that Nintendo released an OLED version of the original Switch console. However, Nintendo may repeat the trick with the Switch 2, releasing an OLED model further down the line. Earlier this year, another analyst predicted the Switch 2 would launch priced $400, with games bumped up to $70. Key question remains, is Switch 2 backwards compatible? It would be wild if it wasn't. That is to say, will it play original Switch games either physically or digitally? Nintendo of America boss Doug Bowser has refused to be drawn in on Switch 2 rumors, but pointed to the Nintendo account as a constant during the inevitable transition. So we're keeping our Nintendo accounts, but will we keep our games? Our goal is to minimize the dip you typically see in the last year of one cycle and the beginning of another, Bowser said. I can't speak to those possible features of a new platform, but the Nintendo account is a strong basis for having that communication as we make the transition. So we will see, but what are your thoughts on the lack of an OLED? Because for me, I saw that and I'm like, well, I've fallen head over heels for the OLED screen, both in my Switch and in my Steam Deck now.
As have I.
To go back seems like a wild choice. So I don't know. I don't know if I could do it because it's so beautiful. The colors are so vibrant and great. The contrast are just perfection. It just makes games pop. It's like almost like having a 3D screen and it's not 3D. You know what it means? It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's gorgeous. So it seems wild to go back to an LCD screen, but
it does. But here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. Let me talk you off the ledge. So LCD technology in the past 6 to 7 years since the original Switch has come out has gotten worlds better than the one that we got on the original unit, right? So Nintendo could technically get away with an LCD if it's 1080, which I'm pretty sure it can be. Also, color representation and black levels have gotten much better on LCDs. Of course, they're nowhere near an OLED, but I feel like they could make something that's perfectly serviceable. My rub, however, with this whole display talk is the fact that it's 8 inches, because that means that the unit is going to be much bigger.
Yeah.
And it's already bordering like, oh, is this portable? Is this, it's not Steam Deck, of course, but like, it's something you have to consider.
Well, okay, so the Steam Deck OLED, the standard Steam Deck has a 7-inch screen, and the OLED's 7.4, so it's even bigger than an OLED screen. So, I mean, technically, it might be chunkier. It might be Steam Deck.
No,
size.
there's no physics would dictate that it needs to be a bigger unit, but that's not what I was looking for. I would have rather made it the same screen size, but just make it thicker if you need to. I think the 7-inch, or what is it on OLED or the Switch OLED? Isn't it just 7 even?
Yeah, I think it's 7 even. The article said.
I would have rather them do maybe like a 7.2, get all the way rid of the bezels, and then just make the system thicker to accommodate for the new hardware inside, because I'm sure they're gonna have to have a more substantial fan. I would rather them done it that way, because like I said, this one is on the borderline of being portable. So now you're gonna tell me you're gonna make it an extra inch bigger, which means the whole system has to get, to compensate a square inch bigger. Oh my God. But circling back, I don't think LCD is as big of a deal as people are making it out to be, especially these days. Well, is it not? Is it OLED? Oh yeah, OLED. Is it OLED? No. Are we gonna get an OLED and everybody's gonna buy it? Yeah,
100%.
But I think we'll be just fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that could persuade me if the Switch 2 came out, because initially I was like, what, LCD? Like, no way, I'll stick with my original Switch. But if it comes out and it is higher res, and able to actually run at the higher res too, because that's the other thing, because technically the Switch can run at 1080 sometimes when it's docked. Sometimes.
Right. Sometimes.
There's like an asterisk. There's like 3 asterisks in there. Sometimes is listed like 4
times. If it's
times.
an indie.
Like, yeah. It's
like,
if
it's docked.
A big fat maybe. But with this, it's like, okay, if it has 1080 on the 8-inch, and it's actually running at 1080, and again, like you said, it's a newer LCD with like a better color, like a higher quality color profile, like a wider color gamut, I guess is what I'm looking for, the correct verbiage there. That could pull me in. I mean, you're not going to get quite the same contrast and stuff like that, but
of course,
yeah,
not.
just like a little bit of vibrancy to the colors, because even, which sounds wild, but even like going from like an original to like the OLED, that's what I immediately notice is like I go back to an old Switch or an old Steam Deck, and I'm just like, oh, it's so washed out. It's so washed. It's like playing in black and white. Might as well not have any color. Like, what is this? It's so I would hope it's like, all right, yeah, get a good quality. Like, yeah, you want to save cost, get that good quality LCD in there, so it actually has good colors. And then the higher res, even though like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, at that small, like you're not gonna notice 1080p. It's like, nah, I think you would.
It depends on what you're looking at.
8 inches, that's getting pretty big at that point. Like, honestly, you're almost to a mini laptop at that. You could buy like what was those old? I don't even know if they
netbooks.
Yeah, the old like netbooks. Like you could buy 8-inch netbooks back in the day. Like imagine having a 1080p netbook, basically. Like I think you would notice. I think you could notice.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. No big deal.
We'll see. We will see. Lindsay kind of agrees with us in some things too. That yeah, if the Switch 2 can't be handheld and docked, then Nintendo would be shooting themselves in the foot. It's so true. I like, but the thing is, with Nintendo, you never know. Like you can't trust them. You can't trust me
so bad.
You can trust them about as far as you can throw them.
No, you know where you can 100% trust them. Games, it doesn't matter whatever the gimmick is for the console, the games are always going to be fire. The
That'll be
console,
great.
the hardware, gamble.
Man. But yeah, if it's not backwards compatible too, like that just seems, with such an incredible library on the Switch, it'd be wild. So my only hope is that since they're so adamant about keeping the Nintendo account, whatever they called it, I would hope that means that at least digital games could carry over. It does say it takes cartridges, so like how it would be wild of them to come up with a new proprietary cartridge shape, but they've done it in the past too. So it's like you can't run it. Like they literally went from NES cartridges to Super Nintendo to N64 to mini disc on game. Like they come out with a new form factor almost every time, except for between Wii and Wii U. It's the only time they didn't. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. How about it says, how about 2 8-inch LCD screens on top of each other? The brand new DS. Let's go.
You know how heavy that thing would be?
Just a netbook. It's just a netbook that opens up with 2 touch screens, top and bottom.
I wouldn't put it in your backpack. And you try to slide it in your backpack, and you get taken back a little bit because of how heavy it was. It's like carrying a weight on your back. Absolutely not.
I mean that what was that? That thing came out a couple months ago, right? The those plans we talked about on the show. Remember, there was like not a copyright. What is it called? Trademark or whatever the designs are, blueprints.
Oh yeah.
Something was they were working on some secret plans. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Switch 2 is going to implement it, but like you always get those things coming out where they're like, oh, here's some.
Oh, it's going to split apart, and this is how you split it apart, and then put it back together. And now you have 2 systems that are the same instead of 1, so we can charge you for 2 systems.
Lindsay makes a good point, like how the GameCube was portable with a handle. I mean, it was onto something there.
Honestly,
if it's just 2 8-inch LCDs strapped together with a big handle on the back, I'm in.
If they just make another DS, I'm in.
A DS, but with a big old GameCube handle on the back of it. So it's just like you can use it as like a dumbbell. You can lift weights with.
The handle is bigger than the system. It's just it's just a GameCube handle they found. Like they had a bunch of them in the warehouse, and they just
barely works. It's
drill
barely
it in
like short enough. Yeah,
on the back.
Give it to me. Come on, Nintendo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hire us. We'd make a good console.
Please, I'll make you a great console if Sega doesn't get me first.
Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's it for the stories here.
Oh boy.
Now it is time for our Patreon ad. This is a part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there starting at just $1 a month. That's right, $1. You get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show and our Patreon exclusive Super Later Boys, and access to season 1 of Super Gamer Book Club, Patreon exclusive, hosted by Zetch, one of the old timer hosts, long since passed. Rest in peace, Zetch. That seems like a pretty great value in my mind. $1, you get all those episodes early and ad-free. You should go check that out. But if you're still interested, what more do you offer? Well, $5 a month. You can get that, plus you get the show notes that come out each and every Sunday for this show. You can see exactly what we're going to be talking about, the news stories, the questions, what we've been playing. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on anything on there, if you're like, hey, I have thoughts about these news stories and I would like you to read them on the air, you can support us there. Check out the notes. Leave your thoughts right on the dock in a comment. We will read them here in the air. Same thing with what you've been playing. If there's a game you've been playing you want us to talk about here, or at least share your thoughts on here, go ahead and leave your thoughts over there. So that allows you to get a little taste of, especially for those people who can't catch us live on Monday nights. If you want your voice heard, you can leave your voice, your thoughts, your notes right over there on the dock. $10 a month, you can be a Super Gamer sponsor. You get all those previous perks and a shout out at the top of each and every episode, because we very much appreciate that support. And then the top dog tier, we have the Patreon producer, where you get all those previous perks and you can pitch us a segment for the show. Or, I mean, you can just support us there if you really love us. That's what it seems like right now. A lot of our supporters there, they just love what we do, and we appreciate that. But at that top dog tier, you get to whisper little ideas, little secrets in our ear. If you're like, hey, I want to make this cool thing. Can we do that? Just like Kajoma's Card Game Corner, which unfortunately hasn't happened for a couple weeks. You'll have to stay tuned for that. He's been busy. But yeah, if you have an idea for the show and want us to give it the old college try, go ahead and support us at that top dog tier. We try everything, and I mean everything. We've even had to cancel things because we've tried too much. But you know what? It was fun. It was something while it lasted. I was going to say it was fun while it lasted, but it was, I don't know if it was fun. It was something. It was something.
It was an experience. That's how you say it.
An experience. So yeah, think about supporting us over at Patreon. We love all the folks over there who support us. They're so thankful for taking your hard-earned money, throwing it our way to make cool things. You can also support us by going to sgbstore.com, buy our new hat, dad hat. Who knows? Maybe in the future there will be a new style hat, but for now there's a dad hat, there's stickers, there's a coffee mug. I drink out of my coffee mug almost every morning while I work. I have my matcha tea in my cup. I stare at my own face while I drink it. It's great. Check that out, sgbstore.com. And you can support us by subscribing on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account, use your free Prime Gaming sub. Cost you $0. We get $5. Helps the channel, and you get some sweet emotes to use across Twitch. So think about supporting us there. We'd very much appreciate it. And now let's get back to the show. All right, Adrian. It's that time of the show where I have to ask you. I'm dying to ask you. What you playing?
Ooh, what am I playing? I how do I put it?
Oh no.
No, I mean I guess there's no other way to put it, but Power World has its hooks in me, man.
Yeah.
It's got its hooks in real good. I beat my first what do they call it? It's their version of a raid boss.
Oh wow.
Did it solo, by the way. Did it solo. I just want to put that out there, because I'm him.
Yeah, I was gonna ask now, because we have a game that we've been playing together. Did you have to start a fresh save, or are you able to play the save with me but on your own?
No, because we don't have a private server. If we had a private server, I can go in without you, but I'd have to wait for you to come in and start the game.
That's too bad. I didn't realize it did that. We should have set up a private server. That probably would have been.
Yeah, I don't know how much they cost though.
Yeah, who knows? But okay, so you've been playing. You've been cheating on me. That's what you're saying.
Hey man, you weren't around, man. I needed you and you weren't there.
Dang it. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, that game's awesome.
It's not you. It's me.
I just been doing a whole lot of exploring. And I did the minimum amount of base building just so I can get that part going and get that challenge done. So,
okay,
yeah, it's fun. It's janky as heck because of course it's what do they call that? Early access.
Yeah,
but it's still super fun. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. And then I would also like to
before we move on, Alenzia is asking, have you captured any humans yet in Pal World?
I didn't even know you could do that.
Apparently,
what kind of maniac is catching humans? Why is it possible to catch humans? That's never crossed my mind.
Apparently it's a thing. No, I didn't try it. I attacked that person. That's what happened. I was trying to remember. I was like, I tried something on the stream last week. I didn't try to capture someone. Remember, there was that civilian that I hit with my weapon.
Yeah, and then they chased you down.
The police chased me down. I was like, first of all, why are there why are there police in this game? Like, who are these people? Because there's bad guys everywhere. It's like, why aren't you
going after them?
Why aren't the police going after the bad guys? I hit one person and they're all on me, but there's these bad guys running their own
ganging up and poaching pals.
They're just letting them run free. I was like, I don't get it. Whatever. They just destroyed me, decimated me. Lindsay says, that's what I said. It's messed up. But she says you can butcher humans too and sell parts.
Who? Why is that in the game?
Oh no! What
do you get?
Game?
Oh, you killed this NPC. You got some human jerky. You got human skin that you could use as a crafting tool.
I mean, did you
Is
see
that
the
what
meme?
we're doing?
Did you see the meme I posted on Discord though, where like the differences between Pokemon and Pal World, where like it's the guy plays out like Pikachu use Thunderbolt or whatever, and like all of a sudden the Pal World equivalent of Pikachu, the guy's like, whatever, like shoot him. You use Glock attack, and he also just kills the Pikachu. No, why did you kill my Pikachu?
We play different around here, brother.
Oh man, and then
the game plays
it's
different.
A great skit. I don't want to spoil it, but come join the Discord if you want to check it out. I post on the general page, but it's like so funny. The differences between Pokemon and Pal World. It's like Pokemon, oh everything, we're all friends, and oh the Pokemon just fainted, bring him back to life, fine. Pal World,
Yeah,
it's
he
like
just fainted.
no. You're gonna work in my sweatshop and manufacture guns, and then I'm gonna murder you if you don't obey me.
And if you start slacking off, I'll come see about you.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a wild game.
But what about yourself, Mr. Morlang? What have you been playing?
Wait. There's one more thing I interrupted you about because I wanted to ask Lindsay's questions about what were you gonna say?
Oh, I forgot. I just wanted to let everybody know that we're back in business, boys.
Yes.
We're back in business, boys.
Back in biz.
Look at her. Brand new, shiny. Shiny for the listeners. I'm holding up a fresh out the box Nintendo Switch OLED model.
Yes.
I had to go without for a while because your boy was on thin ice, but we recovered. We bounced back, and here we are. Back at
started
like
having
a bad
withdrawals.
habit.
Started having withdrawals. You're away from this.
I did, man. That little thing is my road dog, dude.
I knew I fix.
That's my, when people say I got that thing on me, that's my thing. If you see me in the streets, there's like a 95% chance I have it with me.
I want to buy you like a leather holster for your Switch just to put on your hip, like
for my Joy-Con.
Yeah, like the old like cell phone ones, like where it opens up, like that's like the snap, like a leather one that popped open. Remember, like back in the day, like all the dads had like the leather pouch for their cell phone to slide into.
Yes,
I want to
like
get
the
those
holster, side holster.
I need to get you one for your Switch or like just the Joy-Cons. It's like I got it, I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I got it back. I got a brand new unit. I haven't been able to play anything because I'm loading up all my old games, and that takes a long time. But yeah. Excited to be back at it.
Good stuff. Well, for myself, since you asked, I've been playing Power World, obviously. We talked about that. We've been streaming it. Go catch our streams on YouTube and Twitch. We dual stream. So whatever's your preference, go check it out. VODs are available at both as well. Although Twitch blocks audio randomly for no reason because we don't use copyrighted stuff.
On Power World?
Not on Power World, but when I was playing Half-Life 2, they struck me on, or they didn't strike, they just claimed it. So it's not like our channel's in danger or anything, but they can do like a little minor claim. It was part of the soundtrack of Half-Life 2. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like this is just the part. It wasn't even like a song. I think it was just like sound effects from this one area. Like it was like got claimed somehow. I'm like, whatever. I don't know what Twitch is doing over there. So if you want to hear it unedited without muted audio, go over to YouTube. Because YouTube lets anything go, apparently. Which is
Wild West over there.
You would think is the opposite, but no, in this case, YouTube's got the full version of that. Half-Life 2, Parallel Worlds. Go check out those VODs. It's been fun. And then the big game that I've actually been playing for a couple weeks, but I just haven't really talked about it because I've had other things to talk about, is Dave the Diver. Another game that came out last year. Little indie, little indie title. It was nominated for Best Indie Game, but from what I understand, it actually isn't an indie developer. Like it's owned by a bigger
weird, yeah. It's in my wish list. I need you to elevator pitch me right now to press buy.
It is. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. I need to formulate this my sentence here. Okay. It is a This is hard. A side-scrolling underwater adventure game mixed with a sushi restaurant simulator.
Okay.
Does that do it for you? It's
feel
two games in one. It's basically 2 games in one, which is fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah, one part of the game is you're a diver and you go underwater and you catch the fish. You can use your harpoon to either catch them live, or if it's like a bigger one or a more dangerous one, you can just shoot it with special underwater guns to kill them. And then you take everything you catch and kill. And then at night, so by day you're a diver, by night you are a waiter at a sushi restaurant that you help
This
open.
sounds like Moonlighter.
That's exactly what it is. It's Moonlighter, but a little different, but basically the same.
But in the sea.
Exactly, but in the sea. But I love it. The humor is so great. Like that's the best part too. Like the characters are just like so goofy and silly. Like there's this one dude who he's your hookup for all your underwater guns. Like you find the blueprints and then he gives you the recipes on how, or like helps you create the guns. But he's like this super nerdy anime like computer dude, like this stereotypical gamer, like push the glasses up, like he's someone who actually is us, on YouTube,
right?
And
drinking his
like
G Fuel.
It's so great. Like he's so good. I just did a mission with him where he had like one of his like models or whatever, or what do they call them, like the little statues or whatever, like basically like some anime figure like was in a boat getting shipped to him, and the boat sunk and you have to go like get it from the bottom of the ocean.
So you gotta salvage it.
You have to go salvage his anime figure from the bottom of the ocean. I'm like, this game is so great. So yes, it's humorous, it's fun, again with a variety. That's what I liked about Dredge, is like it had the fishing aspect, but then there's like the dark creepy undertones of like the Lovecraftian horror stuff and like these crazy fish you're catching and like summoning something from the deep kind of thing, where this game is a similar thing, not with the dark undertones, but as in it's 2 different experiences. It's like, oh, I can spend as much time as I want just diving and exploring this huge underworld area, and you can go deeper. You can upgrade your suit to go deeper, get bigger oxygen tanks to go longer without needing air, and like bigger bags to carry more goodies. And then I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this. Now I want to go do something different. Like, okay, now at night you can go to the restaurant and you get to choose the menu and what recipes you want to do. And you can enhance your recipes with things you find in the ocean. Like you'll find a crate that had like some soy sauce in it or some, different seasonings and spices. And you get to hire people. It's full on like restaurant sim. Like you're hiring help, you're getting the ingredients, you're choosing your dishes, enhancing, change the look of the restaurant. So I love that. Like it just, because if you can't tell, I don't finish games often because I get bored of them so quickly. Like as much as I love games, I very quickly can be like, all right, what's the next thing? I don't know. I have like video game ADHD.
I've seen the loop.
I don't have ADHD in real life. As far as I know, I've never been diagnosed with it. But
I was gonna say you may be undiagnosed.
I know for sure I have quote unquote this made up video game ADHD where I play it for a bit. I'm like, this game's the best thing. I love it. And I'm like, all right, what's the next thing? And I just move on and never finish the other game. I'm so bad at that.
Hyperfixation.
And so, but this game so far, like because it has that variety, like the loop changes, I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like I can hyper focus on just the diving part. And then I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. Like let's just, all right, now I'm going to cycle through a few nights of like just selling sushi and stuff like that. So I'm loving it. It's a good game. It's very much worth the price of entry, which it's on. I got it on sale. It was actually a bundle. It was a bundle. I got Dredge and Dave the Diver together, and it was discounted. So just add it to your wish list because actually it looks like it's on. Oh, that same bundle is still there. So you can get Dredge and Dave the Diver. This is on Steam, by the way, though. I don't know about Switch, but on Steam, Dredge and Dave the Diver, 25% off. It's $33 for both of them. So basically like $15-16 a piece.
I had to take a look and see if they're there.
Take a look. But very good game. Very, very good game. I haven't been looking at chat. I don't know if anyone else is saying things, but no, doesn't look
not
like
quite.
It. So no one cares about Dave the Diver. That's fine. That's all right.
You care. That's what matters.
I care very much. much. And it looks so good on OLED. That's what I was talking about, like playing on the Steam Deck. It's like, oh, it's so pretty. Like the blues and like going underwater, all the colorful fish and stuff like that swimming around. And then like the restaurant. Yeah, I mean, you can design it any way we want. Different lights and decorations and stuff like that. It's just a pretty game.
Into it.
Very much into it. All right, that's all I got for the show. So here's where I outro and say thank you so much for listening to our show, for watching our show, for checking out our streams of our show and other content. For those of you who don't know, we haven't really talked about it much on the main show because we're bad at communicating. I'm bad. I'll speak for myself. I'm bad at communicating. We have been streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Adrian and I. So Adrian streams on Tuesdays playing whatever game he wants, which is so far it's been Pale World. I don't know if that's going to happen this week because I'm busy tomorrow night. So Adrian, you'll have to find something. You can play more Pale World, I guess, on your own. You don't have to play with me. Play whatever you want. Thursdays, I've been playing through Half-Life. I've been playing through Half-Life 2. And I still need to get into Fortnite at some point. I have Solid Snake skin and I have Raiden skin. I don't have Old Snake. So we need to figure that out.
Better chop. That thing ain't going to be here forever.
Maybe if you're free Thursday, we can do that. Since we can't play together tomorrow night, maybe Thursday night.
We can run a few.
Free. All right, we can do some Fortnite. So yeah, check us out because we also, we go live on Monday recording the episode, but then Tuesday, Thursdays we're hanging out. And we appreciate everyone who swings by. It's always a lot of fun. We got some fun clips. I posted on Instagram the other day of me playing Half-Life. It was terrifying. That was like the second or the third attempt too, and I was still like, no! Ah! Oh, so scary. Anyways, you can support us at patreon.com/supergamerboys if you love what we make, what we do, what we're about over here. Think about supporting us over there. We very much appreciate it. You can also support us at sgbstore.com. You can buy some sweet merch, rep our brand, and or just buy coffee mugs for your office wherever you work. I'm sure they need mugs in the office. Go buy like 5 of our mugs. Just leave them there. Just get people asking questions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't answer any questions. Just leave them.
Just leave them.
Just listen to people ask, who brought these? What is this?
What is this? Oh. You can rate and review us where you enjoy listening to us. By the way, we are now over on Spotify. For those of you crazy folks who use Spotify, rate and review us anywhere, iTunes, Spotify, wherever. But we actually have polls and Q&As each week over on Spotify. We have interactive episodes there, and technically you can watch the video version on Spotify as well. So if you're against YouTube for some reason, you can watch the episodes on your Spotify app and answer the Q&A and answer the polls, leave your own thoughts. We haven't gotten too many answers over there, so I haven't talked about it. But in the future, if we get enough responses, and it'd be fun to talk about here on the show, be like, oh, I asked this question last week, and this is what we got back. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music. Oh, and DJ Trooz. That's the music you're hearing right now. Check all of those artists out over on the links. If you're watching on YouTube and on podcast apps, links will be in the show description for Apple Music and Spotify. Find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I'm over on Twitter and Instagram at Morlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
All right. Well, that's all I got. So go ahead and take us out of here, Adrian.
Sweet, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us for another week and episode of the Super Gamer Boys podcast. As always, we appreciate all the support and sharing and liking and everything of that ilk that you do for us. It all adds up and it all helps us to continue to do what we love to do here.
Dude, we're at 362 subs on YouTube.
That's what I'm talking about.
We've gotten more subs this January than we did the entirety of last year. So
we're on
thank you for sharing our stuff, and keep sharing our stuff, because
keep going.
We're doing that slow grow here, and it's popping off this year. This 2024 is the year. 2024 is the year.
It's the year, dude. I'm telling you, I've never wanted to be rich. I've never wanted to be super duper famous or anything like that. Never. Yeah. I would just love for us to have enough so that we can just do this all the time.
That'd be great.
That's literally the dream. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I just want to be able to talk about video games all the time.
Exactly.
And play video games and stream video games all the time.
If
that's
be a full-time gig, that'd be awesome. So tell your
friends. That'd be perfect. And it would be your all support that could help us get there. So continue to please share, tell people about us, and we are on a roll, and I don't see any point in us stopping. So with that said, we'll see you next time. And until then, We are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flop. Go Niners.
Go Niners. Super Bowl bound, baby.